They called me the weakest hunter alive, and honestly, they weren't wrong. Every dungeon felt like a death sentence, but I had to keep going, for my mom, for my sister, for a chance at something better. In a world where gates to other dimensions open randomly, and monsters pour out, humanity's only defense is us, the hunters. We're people who've awakened supernatural abilities. Some are S-rank, practically walking gods, capable of taking down entire armies of beasts. Then you have the A-ranks, the B-ranks, all the way down, to me, Sung Jin-woo, an E-rank, the bottom of the barrel. My abilities were so laughably weak. I was lucky if I could handle the lowest grade monsters without getting fatally wounded. I was more of a liability than an asset on any raid team. I'd get hurt every single time. It was a running joke. Jin-woo's here? Guess we'll need to budget for more potions. But I had no choice. The hospital bills for my mother, who was trapped in a sleep-like state from a magical illness called the eternal slumber, were astronomical. My younger sister, Jin-ah, was still in school. I was the only one who could provide for them. So, I took every D-rank and E-rank gate I could find, risking my life for a pittance. That's how I found myself joining another low-level raid party, led by a decent C-rank hunter named Mr. Song. It was supposed to be a simple D-rank dungeon. Go in, clear out some goblins or kobolds, and get paid. Easy enough, right? The team was a mix of familiar faces. There was Juhi, a B-rank healer, but she was so traumatized by a past raid that she could barely use her powers. She was always looking out for me, patching me up. The others were mostly D and C ranks, just trying to make a living like me. We entered the gate, and everything seemed normal at first. The dungeon was a standard cave type. We cleared the initial mobs without much trouble. Though, as usual, I managed to get myself injured. A goblin's dagger sliced my side open. Predictable. Juhi rushed over, her hands glowing as she healed the wound, scolding me like she always did. You have to be more careful, Jin-woo. One of these days, my healing won't be enough. I just gave her a weak smile. What could I say? She was right. After we defeated the boss of the dungeon, a slightly oversized spider, nothing special, one of the hunters noticed something odd. There was another tunnel, another entrance, deeper into the dungeon. This wasn't normal. D-rank dungeons don't have dual entrances. They're supposed to be straightforward, but the lure of a hidden area, of potentially greater treasure, was too strong for most of the party. A vote was held. Should we go in or leave? I was hesitant. My instincts, honed by countless near-death experiences, were screaming at me that this was a bad idea, but the promise of more money, a chance to finally get ahead, was a powerful motivator. The majority voted to proceed. I went along with them. It was a decision that would change my life, and my death, forever. We walked down the tunnel for what felt like an eternity. The air grew colder, heavier. The usual mana signature of a dungeon faded, replaced by something ancient and oppressive. The tunnel opened into a massive chamber. It wasn't a cave anymore. It was a man-made temple, grand and terrifying. Giant stone statues lined the walls, each one depicting a different figure, some holding weapons, some holding instruments, one seated on a massive throne. It was eerily silent. In the center of the room, there were strange markings on the floor, a magic circle of some kind. Mr. Song, our party leader, cautiously read the first commandment carved at the entrance: revere the Lord. One of the hunters scoffed. What is this? Some kind of religious LARP? He kicked the door we came through, and that's when the nightmare began. With a deafening boom, the massive stone doors slammed shut behind us, sealing us in. Panic erupted. The air crackled with a terrifying energy, and then the statue nearest the door began to move. Its stone eyes glowed a menacing red, and it raised its massive club. Before anyone could react, it brought the weapon down, obliterating the hunter who had kicked the door. He didn't even have time to scream. This wasn't a dungeon anymore. The rules didn't apply. We were trapped in a slaughterhouse. Another commandment lit up: praise the Lord. One of the smarter hunters in our group quickly realized this was a puzzle, a deadly one. The statues were reacting to our actions, following the commandments literally. He yelled for everyone to bow, to praise the largest statue on the throne. We dropped to our knees, and the attack stopped. But the terror was just beginning. The third commandment appeared: prove thy faith. The room began to change again. An altar rose from the floor. It was a test, a sacrifice. The statues with instruments began to play a haunting melody, and those with weapons started to advance on us, their red eyes fixed on our party. We had to play along, to prove our faith by moving to the altars in a specific sequence. following the music. But people were panicking. They ran, they screamed, and they were cut down without mercy. One by one, our party was being whittled down. I watched as people I knew, people I'd shared meals with, were turned into red stains on the stone floor. Song lost an arm trying to protect someone. Juhi was frozen in fear, her healing powers useless against this overwhelming dread. In the chaos, I was trying to figure it out, trying to survive. I was weak, but I was observant. I noticed the pattern, the rhythm, but it was too late. I was too slow. A statue's spear pierced my leg, pinning me to the ground. The pain was blinding. I was going to die. Again. But this time felt different. Final. As my vision started to fade, I saw Juhi, still shaking, but trying to make her way to me. The remaining hunters had abandoned us, making a run for the final door, the final trial. They left us to die. As a colossal statue loomed over me, ready to deliver the final blow, I had a moment of clarity. My life flashed before my eyes. All the pain, all the ridicule, all for nothing. I thought of my mom, my sister. I couldn't die here, not like this. I screamed at Juhi to run, to save herself. But then, a new notification appeared in front of my eyes. A screen only I could see. You have fulfilled all the necessary requirements of the secret quest, Courage of the Weak. I didn't understand. A secret quest. You have earned the right to become a player. Will you accept? A player? What did that even mean? Accept or refuse? In the face of certain death, I had nothing to lose. With the last of my strength, I thought, accept. A blinding light enveloped me. When the temple doors sealed shut and statues began to move, I realized I was no longer in a dungeon. I was standing in the jaws of something ancient and it was awake. It had chosen me. And for the first time, the weakest hunter alive was given a chance to become the strongest. This wasn't just a second chance at life. This was the beginning of my level up. Thanks for watching. If you want to see how I start my journey from the bottom, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next chapter of my story. See you in the next one.